All right. Welcome everyone to today's training session. So we'll be looking at the introduction to UI UX. This is an intermediate class, and I expect each and every one of us here to at least have a primary or a basic knowledge of what UI UX is all about. Today's class will not really be that intensive. So we'll be looking at introduction, what you will actually learn today, and what you hopefully, if you are serious, and what you will get out of this course. All right, so we begin. We'll be looking at the course overview. The course overview. So first of all, let's look at what you will learn by the end of this course. By the end of this course, you should be able to master design system and UX research techniques, and you should be able to have a strong understanding of business-driven UX design. You should always be also be able to collaborate with developers and stakeholders, and you should also be able to have an improved knowledge of accessibility, and you should also be advanced in design techniques and decisions. And you should also, at the end of this course, you also have a stand-aside portfolio with well-crafted case studies to showcase your skills. Most of us do not have a portfolio, which is wrong. As you're in the tech world, this is you showing persons this is what you can do. So you need a portfolio. If not, the time you are here or the time you are putting in and the energy and the resources will go to waste. So portfolio is one of the most essential things in this world, like in this particular part of the world. So we are going to, by the end of this course, we should be able to have a portfolio with a well-crafted case studies. We'll look into that and how to achieve this. So our first question, our first topic we are going to look at is, who is a UX designer? Who is a UX designer? So we say that a UX designer thinks about the experience, how the experience makes the user feels, and how easy it is for users to accomplish their desired tasks. They also observe and conduct task analysis to see how users actually complete tasks in a user flow. So as a UX designer, you are not just designing, you are also looking at how do users feel when they use this app. Do they feel sad? Do they feel anxious? Are they happy while using this app? So that is one thing as a UX designer you are to do. All right, so I have a very good quote here from Steve Jobs. I know most of us, we know who Steve Jobs is. He says, design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. Most of us, when we design, we feel it is how beautiful the UI is, or how beautiful we have positioned the buttons and how we animate it and the rest of it. That is not what design is all about. And this is a wrong conception that most of us designers, we feel it is. But design is how it works. Do users actually use it and achieve their goals? Does it work as users want it to? So that is what design is all about. Now, when we talk about user experience, this comprises all aspects of design and users' interactions with company and its services and its products. This came from Don Norman. So he was a cognitive scientist and user experience architect. So if we are familiar with UX history, we should know that this is our founder of the word UX. So in his statement, he says that user experience is all about end users interaction. When you make a design and it doesn't, when you make a design and users can't use it, or users can't get what they want from the product, it does not have, there is no experience in it. So it is just UI. But when you incorporate user experience into it, that is when users can actually use a particular product and then interact with it and it's successful. Imagine opening a bank app, let's say Zenith Bank, and then you want to do a transfer, but you can't transfer. It can only accept in account number, it will show the name, but when it's time for you to confirm transaction, to put your PIN, then it does not go in. Like you don't even see where the input field, or is it a pop-up that are using, you don't see anything to actually use for it. So that does not make it complete product. It is just UI. Now, most of us, we tend to make this mistake of saying UI is UX. You said user interface is user experience, that when you've had the interface, that the experience is there. But it is wrong. But it is wrong. So if you want to get started as a designer, you need to get your mindset in place. So we say here that wrong belief leads to wrong action. So when you feel it is just about beautiful UI and the rest, you miss it. You will miss it. But I'm not saying having good UI is not necessary. It's essential, because I can't be coming to a website and then trying to use it, like everything are scattered around, and then there is no good use of white space. There is no hierarchy. There is no color scheming and the rest. I will not be comfortable using that product. So imagine, we all know what color or the brand color of Zenith Bank is. Imagine opening a Zenith Bank and then I'm seeing red. No, I think it is red. So I'm seeing what color should I use? I'm seeing pink as a Zenith Bank color. Ha. I will run. I will tell you run, because I can't trust it. Pink, already using pink as a banking distance is already an off point. It's already a red flag. Let me use that statement. It's already a red flag. So we should always be careful of uh, our mindset. Like, let's be careful of our mindset. Let's all know that UI is not UX. So we always have this question: what is the difference between UI UX and a product designer? While growing up in this field, I usually have this question: who are UI UX, or who are UI designers, who are UX designers, and who is this product designer that people are talking about? So I'll give room for us. If let's see, if you know the difference between this, can you lift your hand? Just raise your hand, then I'll call you. The difference between UI UX and a product designer. I need 3 persons. I have Vera. Okay. Theophilus, and the last person. Who is going? I'll call you. Who is going to be the last person? I need 3 persons. Last person. Abigail. All right, let's hear from you, Vera. So, what's the difference between a UI UX designer? Okay, Fatima. Okay, Fatima, you be the third person. But please, next time, use the reaction button. Raise your hand. The chats. You sorry, reaction. Then you see raise hand, and you can raise your hand from there. So, Vera, let's hear from you.
The one that had.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear
Hello?
you.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you. So in my opinion, I think a UI designer is basically interested in the aesthetics of the you know interface or the products. And the UX designer is interested in the functionality, like like you said, the UX designer is interested in knowing how the app would benefit the person, you understand? So that's basically the difference. Okay, but then the product designer, in my own opinion, is interested in, also in addition to being a UI UX designer, is also interested in the business goals, you understand? So like he or she has marketing in, I don't know how to say, but then they consider things like SEO and things that you don't just produce the stuff. You make sure that whatever you're producing, goes to the market and is useful and people patronize it. So that's how I see it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Theophilus, you're the second person. Then after that,
Yeah.
Fatima.
All right. The UI UX designer is primarily concerned about the feel and the functionality of the products, like how, just like she said, the aesthetics, then also the functionality of the product. So that's primarily the interface, the user interface, and the user experience design of the product. Then the product designer is involved with the entire product development or design phase, from the user research to the UI and UX experience. Then also goes further into understanding the business side of the business of the product, so that as long as it's beyond them satisfying the user need, it's also satisfying the business need of the product.
Yeah, that's good. Fatima, the last person.
Okay, I think they have already said what I wanted to say. UX design is about the experience of the product, like how the what the user experiences when using the product. While UI is more is about how the product looks, the aesthetics, the colors, and everything, how everything is arranged, how it looks basically. And then product design is about the whole product, from the ideation, from the first stage to the last stage, the marketing, the business aspects, everything that has it's like a combination of UI UX and then marketing and everything.
All right, thank you. So all of you have answered very well. So let's look at So I say here that a UI UX focuses especially on user interface. Fidelis, please be careful of the interactions there. Okay, so the user interface UI UX focuses on user interface and user experience, the UI and the UX part of it. Well, as the name says. So they also ensure the product is visually appealing and easy to use. So, and finally, they usually work within a given product strategy. So they don't think outside. Most UI designers don't think outside the box. What they do is whatever you give them is what they work with. If you don't have a meeting with them to tell them, okay, this is how this is supposed to function, they can't think on their own to actually strategize how to approach that particular problem or how to solve that particular problem. So, but when we look at what a product designer is, as a product designer, the product designer thinks about the business goals, user needs, market fit, and then product strategy. So as a client meeting a product designer, you'll be happy you do, because the product designer will not only be thinking about how to make his own money, but he'll be thinking about, this product that I actually designed, so how do we actually make it stand out? How do we actually make it go places? Because this is actually what the one that did it. So they think about the business goal. So you as a client that meets me, so you actually want this product to actually solve this type of problem for users. So product designers, they look into this part too, but UI UX designer, well, you give me what you want, I design, and then I proceed to another client. And so also a product designer work on design systems and feature prioritization, and also light front end prototyping. Most of us, we do this. Well, I think one of the first topics we were taught in the beginners level was design systems. We all knew how to create a design system. We all knew how to do prototyping and the rest of it. So, well, so can we now say that we are all product designers? If you think you are a product designer, raise your hand. Let me see. I want to see who is saying is a product designer. If you're a product designer, let me see you. Like, you've been able to follow up with a client. Oh, Vera, I can see your hand. Okay. So you've been able to
Yeah.
hello, Fatima, you want to say something? Please, um, please hold on. Let me. Sorry about this. Let me miss. I wonder how. My bad. Sorry. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now, everyone? Okay. So as a product designer, you don't just design a UI and then leave it for the developer to figure out how it works. The developer will be struggling to know, where does this button lead to? Where does this actually go to? But as a product designer, you are to design, prototype, have a meeting with your developer, walk him through, always keep on going, and then find out, what is the problem? What difficulty are you finding? What are your blockers and the rest? Always follow up with your developer to find out what is going on. Okay, Chukwukalu, please, your mic is on. Please, when we are in a meeting, let's be conscious what we do. All right. Sorry about that once again. So let's proceed. So, as I said earlier, as a product designer, you are supposed to be involved in the entire product lifestyle from idea to launch. Have series of meetings with series of meeting with the stakeholders and have a series of meeting with the stakeholders and the clients to see what does this person actually want. What does this person want from this application or from this product the person is bringing? Either it be a web app, an application, a website, or whatsoever. So that is the work of a product designer. So now let's look at the common myth and truth of UI UX design. Okay, so we have a myth that UI design is all about making things pretty. So this is a myth that most of us designers, we feel it is all about beautiful UI and beautiful animations, transitions, and the rest. The role of a UI designer is not to make the interface aesthetic and subjectively pretty. So the truth is that UI is all about making the visual experience seamless and simple. Most of designs we see, it's always complex. You'll be like, oh, where do I navigate to? How do I book a flight? How do I purchase recharge card? And the rest of it. But as a product designer, you are to make your UI visual experience seamless and simple. So it should be a well-crafted UI, which should support this usability and also reflect on the brand's core value. So when giving a product to do, think the product. Don't think about you, the design. Don't think about the design. Think the product. One of my mentors used to say, think the product, not the design. Because when you think the product, you'll be able to design what you will meet user needs and not what you feel it is. So another myth is that UI is greater than UX, or we can also say that UX is greater than UI. But they say that UI is more important than UX, or UX is more important than UI. I don't know how true is that, but the truth is there is no point dividing or comparing UI and UX. What matters is in the end is the overall experience. So this comparison is actually pointless. So were you able to achieve what the clients want? Were you able to set path for users? Were you able to meet the user needs? That is what is necessary. Now, most of us, we are uh, we say we can actually predict how users will behave, that it is possible for us to make design decisions using common sense. Oh yes, users will want the button to be here. Users will actually want to navigate to transfer data, to transfer money through this particular platform. They want to go from profile to settings, and from settings they will now go to transfer so that they can hide it. Well, we are trying to see, so that transaction will not be exposed. But as we can't predict this. So the truth is, great UX start with user research. Most of us just jump into Figma or into whatever tool we use in designing and then go through it. We don't go through research, we don't go through testing, we don't iterate or do any other thing. We just go wireframing. That one is a no-go area. We just go straight to high fidelity drawing designs and then put things out there. But well, after the end of this course, we should be able to use this and then. So another thing we have is good design needs to be original. Most of the designers feel they can, well, creativity is good, it is, but don't be too creative and then miss the point of what you're trying to do. Let me use an example. Users are already used to the fact that when I come to open application, the first interface I see is actually to log in. So, and then I'm like, oh no, let's not do that. So let's allow I can say, okay, let's allow the users to log in first, so that like when the app opens, it will just show the dashboard face without the user logging in. So we try to just bring out originality from, and then doing this, we now go outside the box. So the design doesn't really need to stand out. So if the design doesn't stand out, it blends in and becomes boring. That's what most of us think. So one of my mentors says no product is actually new. So why, when designing, do research, see what others are doing, see what users are already used to. Don't just come to design and then try to bring up your own analogy, or you just try to figure out, okay, this is how I want to do it, or the rest. This is wrong. So good design can be based on proven patterns. It is better not to reinvent the wheel while designing. Stick to what's familiar. When designing, stick to what is familiar. Don't go outside. Well, it's good to think outside the box, but don't do that. So we say detail doesn't matter. Users don't notice them anywhere. Well, at the same time, you're forgetting that some users that are using your products are also designers. So they see it. So details influence the overall perceptions of the UI. Why users might not notice it, but they will also know that this UI, it does not feel well. How will you log in? Log in now, be on top. The button will be on top. The input text will now be down. So what does that actually do? So users will always know that that is not right. So we have things you need to become a UI UX designer. Now we proceed. So number one is that you must have a design degree. So at least a bachelor degree, preferably. Personally, I would prefer a master degree, and it is a must-have. And also, you must have a previous experience in tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Framer, etc. And number three, you must have intensive curious mind and know about business and processes. And four, well, you must know how to build website and mobile app with different programming language. So you must know HTML, you must know CSS, you must know C++, you must know Jaguar, you must know, well, we have a lot of them. And well, you must also have experience in product management. These are things, remember, these are things you need to actually be a UI UX designer. Oh, sorry. I think it was a wrong presentation slide. Sorry. So none of these are required. You don't need any of these that I've mentioned to be a UI UX designer. You don't need it to be a product designer. None of these requirements are needed. I know most of us, when you were seeing it, you were like, our instructor, what is happening? Where do I get master degree of design from? Or where do I get of product design? It is not required. We don't need it. To be a UI UX designer, you don't need any of this. Okay. So let's look at the course requirements. So you must have a Google Docs, you must have a Zoom account, you have to be logged into the Discord, learning management system, our LMS. I know most of you are thinking, what is this LMS? So it is called learning management system. And then we might be using tools like Miro, we might be, the baba of them all, Figma. So that is what we'll be using throughout our